number one a long time. You know why? Because we keep it real, and sometimes we make it rain, and sometimes we even have the Republicans in the studio. Lord have mercy.
Amen.
You were kind of, you're the head of the Lake County Party, so I know, but you were kind of heeing and hawing a little bit about your support at that time for Brother Trump. Am I correct about that?
Well,
Come on, don't start studying, brother.
Oh, no, I was originally a Rick Santorum fan.
Yeah.
But when Donald Trump, it was obvious he was going to get the nomination, we jumped on board with both feet. And let me tell you, it was a wave in 2016 like we've never seen before in Lake County and throughout Ohio, especially throughout some of the areas of Ohio that traditionally aren't Republican. And so it was quite a phenomenon that we saw. And the great thing about it is, other than hearing the news media ripping on Trump all the time and saying bad things about him and all these other things, let me tell you, the accomplishments of this president have been pretty phenomenal in just a year and several months. I mean, we now have 3 million, almost 3 million people now have jobs that didn't have jobs before. You have the lowest unemployment rate in the African American community ever in the history of keeping those records. Same in the Hispanic community, and the list just goes on and on. I was actually there in Richfield when he was there just a few days ago, and it was great to hear what he had to say. And what he was doing was talking about his next initiative, which is for infrastructure. And the big thing about infrastructure is going to be it's all about jobs. If you remember too, one of my big things was what's the solutions going to be in the communities that need help? It's jobs, 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 and that's what President Trump is creating with his initiatives, and that's and infrastructure is going to be the next one. And you're talking about high-paying, great jobs. That's one of the reasons he was out at a union training center, because that's what he wanted to talk about. So this is the place that's doing the things, it's setting up the apprenticeships so that we can have good-paying, high-quality jobs for people who aren't going to college. And he talked about that too a lot. It's like we need folks that are doing the work, not necessarily just folks going on to college. We need them both. And this country is booming like never before right now. Wages are up. The increase in wages, we haven't seen that at this level in 2 decades. The tax reform that got put in, all of a sudden now everybody's got more money. Our guys that work for me, they came up to me. We gave them a bonus at the end of the year. We gave them a raise at the beginning of the year, and then they got a second raise. They thought we gave them a second raise. They said, no, that was the president's raise that they gave you. So our folks, of course, as you know, we're right around the corner, not far from here.
So brother, but when you gonna hire some black folks on that big
we
plant
do.
you got?
Oh yeah, we got.
Why you ain't got no black folks?
Oh, we do. Oh, we do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They got a raise too.
And let me. Oh yeah, everybody did.
So if a black man coming to you, apply for the job, you ain't gonna turn him down, are you?
Oh my God, no.
Easter Sunday, how is the Republican Party responding to a lot of crass and crude, vulgar language coming from the White House, and why is no one saying anything about it as they would have when things happened with President Clinton?
And certainly we're all about.
Wait a minute, Dale fellow. Wait a minute. Stop stuttering. The Republicans have always took the high grounds when it comes to morality. Yeah. The text was very clear. What's wrong? What's happening with your morality under Trump? Talk to me.
Well, we still got our morals. I'm still good.
Well, I want to say one thing about advertising here. When Walmart runs a radio commercial, Talking John gets paid to put it on the air.
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear. Listen, Brother John, great professor, you got to be a man of high morality. How can you stand so tall with this morality issue of the Republican Party, of the president at this time? Come on, don't stutter on me, Professor. I know you teach.
Well, I agree with you, Art. It's important to maintain our high standards. All of us. Doesn't matter what party. You need to maintain a high moral standard. I think we need to remember, of course, that no person who runs for office is perfect. They all have their flaws. And I don't condone crass language from whoever it comes from. And one thing I do hear going door to door, by the way, when I'm knocking and someone says, I like what Donald Trump's doing, a lot of the time they'll say, I don't always like the way he says things, I prefer what he does. And so I think there's a legitimate criticism that, our TV, our media has lost its morality. And, Mr. Trump is a TV celebrity, and he's in that milieu, which is a little bit racier and more controversial than I would be supportive of. But I recognize that in an election you're voting between two people. Neither of them are perfect. And what I care more about is what the person does than what they say.
And I think it was unfortunate, but our President Clinton really lowered the bar on that some years ago. So.
But I don't want to lose sight of an issue that Alex raised, because it really...
Well, I know. Listen, you all, listen, I give you all the job issue. You understand? I give that to you. I give that to you because I see, as I travel around, I see jobs help wanted in all kind of places. And listen, I'm with you on that. But this morality issue, you all have got soft. You all are tiptoeing around the tulips, and that's bad because I know that for years the Republican moral standards were what the party fibers of the party. Now all of a sudden you all, and I'm sure that you all love to bring up the Clinton, but that's not what the moral of the Republican Party was. The moral fiber of the Republican Party of you all platform was higher than that. Why did you all drop so low?
Well, we didn't. The party still has the same standards.
Okay, talk to me then.
The party still has the same standards, and that's why we're trying very hard to make sure that everybody, again, give us the jobs. That's great. It's also about fighting against the opioid, the problems that people have with drugs in this community, that lowers their moral standards and lowers everybody's standards. And the president is working hard on that. Again, it's deeds, not necessarily words. I agree with John.
So listen,
we don't necessarily like what...
We have a lot of time here, so we don't have to rush issues at all. So when it comes to the morality of the president, normally...
Well, I'm not sure what... I mean, there's a lot of allegations and all that stuff, but also in his own private businesses, he's hired more women executives than probably any other major executive in the world, and certainly more than some of the presidents that we've had. I mean, my gosh, he had such support amongst high-level women in the community. It was unbelievable. How about we had the two folks that I got to meet, Diamond and Silk, who were from New York, African-American women who still to this day are campaigning for Trump. They're going all over the place. They just love him. And when I was actually, first time in my life, I got to go to Trump Tower because my nephew was getting married in New York City in December. And oh my gosh, you walk in there and it's wall-to-wall stores and women everywhere in Trump Tower. I mean, these are people working there. These are high-level jobs. And you go through the construction job. He was talking at the meeting or the event in Richfield about how he loves construction. He loves construction. And then you look in the audience, and he had members of his cabinet there, women. He had Ivanka there, his daughter, and Tiffany there. Beautiful women with high standards. So, some of the allegations are one thing, but the reality is a whole different thing again. Deeds, not words.
And I would follow off on that by saying many people pay lip service to giving opportunities to women and minorities, and they say all the right things, and they say it perfectly and do nothing. I think Mr. Trump sometimes doesn't say the right thing, but his track record shows that he hires the best person for the job, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless of their sex. So he may put things, you use the word crass, he may put things unfortunately, but I'd rather have someone who hires women and minorities than someone who brilliantly talks the talk and doesn't walk the walk.
All right.
And when he hires them, he lets them do their thing. He lets them be as creative as possible. He's not one of those micromanagers.
Make one more comment. Listen, if this had been Obama and morality thing Brother Fellows, you would have been all on top of him, and so would you, Professor.
Well, back to D's not words. How about Obama? Very eloquent, great words, great speaker.
Great morality.
But the deeds,
Morality.
the
Deeds,
results,
morality.
the
Come
results,
on now.
the
What?
results in the economy, in the government was horrible. I mean, he saddled us with a horrible economy.
Brother Fellows, I love you all. But
I love you, Art.
But you know what? I'm not gonna let you get away with that because you're gonna make me cuss. Hell.
don't say it.
When Obama took over the presidency, the whole damn country was falling down. The auto industry was going, the jobs were down. We were almost in a depression. He brought it up. You understand? Now, how you're going to deny that too, right?
No, I wouldn't say he necessarily brought it up, but it's
Wait a minute. Where was the car market? Where was the car market? Where was the car market when Obama got in office? Where was the car market? The American car market.
Going down.
Going down. It was dead.
And
They had to bail it out.
And what happened though? That recession lasted longer than any recession ever in the history of the United States.
Lord have mercy.
It did.
The Republicans in the House.
It did.
Listen, who's on the phone line? Talk.